Live from the Cajun capital of the world.
I'm the average Lafayette, Louisiana kid.
See, I'm back on my...
Hey, fellas. Hey, Ragin Review said, congratulations. Say what's up, y'all. Yeah!
People that have courage don't have no extra gene. There's no difference in you. The difference is, are you going to sit down when it's time to stand up?
Ladies and germs, good afternoon and welcome in to another edition of Ragin Review, pregame edition, as the Cajuns are set to kick off against the Cincinnati Bearcats right now, 6 o'clock, weather permitting. Right, I checked one of the announcers, the color guy today, and he said, or just a few minutes ago, he said we're good to go right now. It's still tarped, but that's out of a precautionary measure in case they get some rain. But right now it's just lightning, so they'll let that pass. Hopefully get started at 6 o'clock. Joined by our friend Brennan Bro, former LSU Tiger and Ragin Cajun, of course, and also color commentator for the Ragin Cajuns. What is up, Brennan? How you doing today, man?
What's happening, man? Thanks for having me, as always.
No problem.
On the show, man.
Well, we always love having you, man. You give us a little bit different perspective because you actually got to play on that field, and today's going to be an interesting one. I think we went down heavy into the stats, and I'll throw this up here because I know you're a stat geek, and I know you and Cole would probably get along really well. But lots of stuff to kind of digest here. The one thing we know about Cincinnati is they're a really, really good offensive club, batting over 300 on the season. Their first baseman, Quentin Coates, is just sick. He's batting 346 on the year. He's got, 28 homers. That dude has 28 homers. Almost what we have as a team.
28 homers by himself.
That is insane. And then Enzo Infelice is a big dude. He's batting 371, slugging 545. But to give you an even worse stat for Coates, he's slugging 764 on the season. These guys can mash it, man. It'll be a real challenge. And then you cap that off with their catcher hitting 336. Slugging 645, and he alone has 16 homers on the year. So, man, our pitching's going to have to show up today. I have all the confidence in our boy Cody Brash. I think that's exactly who you need to throw against Cincinnati. But it'll be a challenge, as you see on this pair ratings chart. They as in Cincinnati have a 61.8 chance of beating the Cajuns. But you know what? Earlier today, there was only like a 3% chance of Milwaukee winning. And what did they do? They pulled off the upset. You got analytics and you got manalytics. And you know what? To me, in the regional tournament, it's all about manalytics, Brennan.
Well, and it's like March Madness. I mean, you can put the tournament together, you can put the different brackets together, but, Florida won today, and I forget who they played, but on a walk-off in the ninth inning. UCLA, supposedly one of the best teams ever assembled, is down right now to St. Mary's in the top of the ninth. Right. So it doesn't matter in come postseason baseball. You don't have to be better than any team. You just have to be better than that team on that given day.
I don't know what's going on with Southern Miss, man. It is there, and I think it's in it
today too.
For the fourth time in a row, they lose their opening game when hosting a regional. That's unbelievable.
But it's so hard to come back from that. I mean, you look at just the conference tournament last week, right? Like the Cajuns lose that winner's bracket game against Texas State, and now they have to play that one extra game and fight all the way back through the loser's bracket. Southern Miss is going to have to do the same thing. They're going to have to fight off of elimination tomorrow. They're going to have to beat who was it? ECU.
Yeah.
I forget
I think it's ECU. Yeah.
ECU. They're going to have to come back and win the winners bracket game again and beat ECU twice, or whoever that winners bracket game winner is.
Yeah, looking at some of the games from today, this was an interesting one. Washington State and Oregon State, who are kind of in the same conference, but not really, but sort of, had to face off today, and Washington State beats them in Oregon. That was crazy. Mississippi State, a big winner over Lipscomb. Kind of saw that happening. Lipscomb's pitching depth isn't great. That's the biggest flaw of their team. But again, you can't overlook any team. Texas took care of business. Oklahoma State lost to USC Upstate. That's an interesting one, 8-5. I didn't see that one earlier. Kansas took care of business. Milwaukee 13-8 over Auburn. That's crazy, man. Lots of crazy. And look, it was Ryder who Florida played today. 8-7. That was
there you go.
That was a score that we were following kind of, all afternoon, thinking that Ryder might pull up the upset, but Florida just kept kind of chipping away at that lead and ended up taking it at the end. And then you got Georgia ahead right now. Binghamton up on West Virginia in the fourth. We'll see if that holds. Lamar is up on Texas A&M. That one's interesting.
Yeah,
Texas A&M at Bluebell, man.
I was just watching that game, before I hopped on here, and Lamar was up 5-0 in I think it was the fifth. And then A&M hit a leadoff homer, hit by pitch, and then another homer. So, it shrunk the gap relatively quickly. And that's the star power that you're going to see from teams in the Power Four, predominantly the SEC, the ACC. They can strike at any moment, and they can chip into a lead pretty quickly.
Of course, and you got St. Mary's, like you mentioned earlier, up 3-2 on UCLA in the top of the ninth. Now, they are the number one seed, so you would expect that they will fight at the bottom of the ninth to take the lead and walk them off. But, the fact that it's 3-2 at the top of the ninth just kind of you can't. And I think LSU showed you that this year. You can't really buy a roster and expect to have results. You got to have team chemistry. You have to have guys that grind. And every team has a Friday night pitcher. And on any given night, you saw what happened to us against Jackson State in 2014. We got beat by a guy who just threw nothing but trash, and we couldn't hit him. Every team's got a Friday night guy. And you know all about that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And look, Friday night guys, like in the SEC, they are for real. And for that matter, too, now Saturday night guys. If you crack the weekend rotation in the SEC, you are seeing some real stuff out there that plays in the big league.
Speaking of trash throwing pitchers on Saturday, Danny Mazziotti is joining us, a catcher who caught our friend Andy Grove many times. You know what that was like. Danny, what's going on, man? So glad you got to join us.
Nothing, boys. What's up, man? It's good to be on. Good to see you guys.
Not too much, man. We're just kind of bullshitting about baseball right now, taking a look around the NCAA tournament. But, of course, we want to talk about the Cajuns, who in allegedly 50 minutes will be taking on Cincinnati, depending on the weather over there. How you feeling about this game, Danny?
Man, the way these guys are playing now, I know they started off slow, but, man, just catching fire at the right time. Probably things you guys have already said, but, shoot, I think it's anybody's game. And then the things that are going on with these other regionals, did Milwaukee really beat Auburn?
Milwaukee beat Auburn. Yeah. In fact, look, I'm going to throw it back up here because we got some interesting scores. You got Milwaukee beating Auburn. Kentucky came back to win. Look at this right here, man. You got UCLA down 3-2 to St. Mary's in the bottom of the ninth, bro.
Good. Competition is all around the game now. It's so competitive, and shoot, we can go in there and win easy. And
baseball's a little different now too. NIL plays a big part of it, sure, but it's not the talent's not so concentrated in the Power Four like you see in basketball and football. There are so many good baseball players around the country that, look at the Kansas regional, right? Tyson LeBlanc, right down the road from Maurice. He set the Kansas record for home runs this year in a single season. He just kind of flew under the radar for most of his high school career. And ends up at Kansas, and now they're hosting a regional for the first time in God knows how long. So the baseball talent across the country, we saw last year in the World Series, only one or two SEC teams made it to the College World Series in the height of NIL. So postseason baseball is the best time of the year by a long shot, especially in the NCAA. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's just unpredictable, man. It's I think it's great. Anybody can go in there and win. And I mean, that's how we got there, right? I mean, nobody saw it coming, and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of JUCO dirtbaggers that can flat out ball, and you can go win anytime. And
what I gotta say, man, Shannon Poole back in the day, he had it figured out, because I will never forget. Shannon had a picture of the United States, and he drew a line from Lafayette to Omaha, but he just followed like the state borders. There was no actual like following a road up there. He just followed the state borders up there. Shannon Poole was ready to go, man. I'm telling you, he was pumped up back in the day.
No, he was, man. How do you remember him, Nick? That's great.
Dude, I could throw out names. I remember crazy things from back in the day. We had the guy who's, I can't remember his name, but his dad owned the Lucky Dog. So we for golf tournaments, he'd bring out the Lucky Dog carts and all that stuff. I remember crazy stuff from back in the day. But you're right, we were some underdogs back then, man.
No, it was good. It was good. But yeah, this team right here, I mean, our catcher, you know, hitting in the middle of the lineup and doing what he does as a freshman, and then now the guys on the bump doing their thing. And I mean, up the middle, we're as good as anybody. And I mean, this kid's only a freshman behind the plate.
Everybody up the middle is a freshman this year. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, and that's
Crazy.
why I think we're late bloomers. That's why we started off slow. Everybody's got to find their identity, no chemistry. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Now you figure it out, and you get hot the way they did at the end of the year, and it's like nobody wants to face us.
Well, and especially when you got guys like, you know, Lee Amade swung a really good bat in the conference tournament, hit a couple homers, and it takes the pressure off of Colt Brown, right? Who's been your guy, you know, the whole season. And he's been rock solid. Had a little dip in the middle of the season like everybody else, but as a freshman, that's to be expected, right? And then, you know, having the emergence of Mark Collins in the tournament, hitting a couple homers in the tournament, Maddox Mandino playing really well in the tournament. And then the pitching really finding their stride too. Like Danny said, man, if they can continue to play like they played the last week, I mean, they can hang in there with anybody.
You can beat anybody. I mean, it's like we got to go see Case and Evans over at LSU. And when you put a number one against a number one, it doesn't matter. I don't know that it matters the jersey. If it's LSU, what it is, anybody can win at any time. Now, when 2s and 3s go, maybe it's a little different, but I mean, they didn't have the year and they had all the star names, and it was just absolutely, and I say Kaysen because he was a childhood friend of my kids, and we grew up coaching him, and he ended up choosing LSU and not UL. Not sure why, but
well, hey, Brendan did too, but look where he ended up, you know. Hey, look where he ended up.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, you know. But, you know, like they don't even get they don't sniff anywhere close, just had a down year, but, you know, and then we got hot. We probably had similar records at the beginning, but we got hot at the end where they just couldn't put it back together, and that's just what happens. And that's baseball, and that's what is going to be beautiful about this regional and all regionals is, hey, don't lose twice. Let's go. And let's see
that's exactly right. And I mean, like you look at the top 25 rankings, right? Depending on which one you look at, UL cracked the top 25 again. Cincinnati sitting at 24. And then, you know, Mississippi State's anywhere from, 16 to 17. So there's not a whole lot of parity in between 3 of the 4 teams that are in this tournament right here, in this region. So, I mean, anything can happen, man. You know, obviously – Mississippi State is going to have the SEC. It's going to have the blue chip talent. It's going to have some arms that we've seen before, but probably not that consistently across the board. You know, you're not going to. We haven't seen 92 to 95 from everybody running out of the bullpen like they do in the SEC. But outside of that, I mean, it's anybody's game, especially on a natural surface like that with the weather how it's been. Yep. You never know.
Yeah, a bad bump here or there. So I went and saw us play a couple years at A&M, and then when you go there, you're just like, whoa, different animal. I mean, we can win this one. We can win Mississippi State.
I hate going to Texas A&M, man. I mean, I know, Brendan, you have great memories from that. I hated going over there because I just didn't like – I don't know. It's like a football mentality in a baseball game. but it's still fun, but just not when I'm playing there because I want to win. So it's so hard to win there. But I'm glad we're at Mississippi State. Looking at the field, it looks great. They pulled the tarp. Cincinnati's warming up. I'm sure we are as well on the other side. So 6 p.m. start to answer your question, Grant, is the idea today. But I do want to throw this up there and just show you guys how elite offensively, and we already know this. We know that Cincinnati's a really good hitting team, but I want to ask you, Danny, as a former catcher, do you always pay a little bit closer attention to the catcher? Because you're going to see a really good one, of course, in Cole Brown, but Jack Natili batting .336, 16 bombs on the year, great defensively, slugging .645. Does that kind of get you a little bit geeked up to see that battle on the field today?
Oh, yeah, for sure it does. But then, how's he going to handle himself behind the plate? Because typically catchers are a defense first, and then let's see what happens offensively is just the bonus. But this guy looks like, he's hitting in the middle of the lineup, and this is the dude. So let's see. Yeah, let's see what plays out. And when it's baseball, hopefully, he's struggling. And we've got some. Just depends lefty on righty, see how he hits and whatever. They're hitting at home. They know their
depends what the pitcher's doing. If he's throwing it all over the plate, it just you never know, man.
But looking forward to seeing. I love watching the catching. The catching position. It's evolved so much with this knee and trying to get low strikes and now ABS. I'm not sure. Are we having ABS in regionals?
No,
okay,
I think they just kept it for SEC. Am I correct there, Brennan? I think it was just for the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I think it's just for the SEC tournament. We had it, believe it or not, in a summer ball game last night for 17-year-olds.
Come on.
And it was quite interesting. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
So, to watch this guy, see how he is and see how he controls the run game. How does he block? How does he keep a guy from third from coming in when he's got a 2-2 slider coming in the dirt? That's the cat and mouse game that I enjoy watching, just growing up as a catcher and continuing to watch that part of the game because it's hard to find good catching right now.
UCLA lost 3-2 to St. Mary's, boys.
Oh,
that is incredible.
That is great. That's good stuff.
And there was some podcast guy in Baton Rouge upset that his team didn't make it, saying that teams like Little Rock don't belong in the tournament because they've never done anything and they won't go anywhere. That's just he had to have been just trolling. I can't imagine he really felt that way. By the way, Josh, I see your comments there. Hey, dude, I do have the phone line open if you want to call. Josh, who was on our show for several years, one of the originators on this show, he is the biggest Danny Mazziotti fan. When I tell you that dude, he fans out when we talk about Danny Mazziotti back in the day. So, Josh, if you want to call in, I did open the phone line for you. Give us a call and talk to Danny. And keep it brief. I know you're going to want to talk to him for like an hour, but Danny is a very important guy. We don't have all day. We do have a game at 6, but no, call in if you want to comment on that. But their offense looks sick. And we're going to go against a very good pitcher, Nathan Taylor. He's got a 3.86 ERA. He's given up 78 hits, 46 runs, given up 10 homers on the season, and has broken the Cincinnati single season record for strikeouts.
Really?
And if you look at that doesn't really line up well for us because we do strike out a bit. But I don't know what turned on. And Brendan, maybe help me out here. Is it just the maturation of this team through the conference tournament that saw us making better contact and swinging the ball and mashing it over the fence? What happened or what turned it on for the Cajuns through probably the last 2 weeks of the regular season into the tournament?
Man, you never know. You just hope as a team and as a coach and as a fan that your team starts to turn it on towards the end of the season, however that may be, however that comes to be. And it looks like, judging off of last week, that's what the Cajuns, they kind of got that wave started. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. You put in the same work that you do, when you're preparing for a regional as you do, game 25 to 26. Sometimes it just we clicked early in the season, had a lull in the middle of the season, and we're clicking again at a good time towards the end of the season, going into the postseason. So there's no real rhyme or reason to it. People are just, like Danny said earlier, maybe those freshmen are starting to grow up and get comfortable and understand, what their role is and how opposing pitchers are trying to, get them out and, just settling into that.
Yeah. I'm so impressed by how guys have stepped and the freshmen have stepped up, man. You look at the fact that freshmen carried us for a lot of at bats and made some. I mean, I think Blaze Rodriguez is the best freshman shortstop in the country. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind there. But just to ask you this, Danny. So when was your senior year? You graduated, was it, or you left it, was it 2001 was your last year, or was it 2000?
It was 2000.
So talk to us a little bit about, because, the following year we got our ass kicked at New Mexico State, didn't even make the conference tournament. So I was going to ask you questions about that, but I'll ask the other question. I remember the conversations of Robe having with the team as we're going to South Carolina, and he's trying to decide on his pitching matchups. And we ended up going Doman in game 3 and, the strategy behind that. But as a player going into a team that I don't even think hit double digits in losses that year, South Carolina was so good. They had Kip Buchnight. He was the best pitcher in the country. As a player going back and reliving those moments, how did it feel going into an almost impossible situation where you're such an underdog that it's taken everything, the guts and everything has to go right for you guys in that series to be able to win it and make it to Omaha?
Well, I think that's just the competitive nature of most competitive athletes, that they don't even see that side of it. They believe they're the best, that their team's going to go in there and win. If you would bounce back to 99, we played number 1 Rice in a super regional, and we thought we should have won. We won the first game. We should have won.
We got screwed on that call at second base.
Correct. We win the first game. I swear to God, we go in there and we're dancing because we believe we're going to go to Omaha. Maybe a little premature. Then you lose game 2, and then, hey, we can still win game 3. You lose. So the next year, we go on a run to start the season. Then we have a lull, just like here, where you lose 8 or 9 in a row, and then you pick back up and you get hot at the right time. And no, I don't think you know that they're good on the other side, but you believe, and if you don't believe you're the best when you get in the batter's box, you're beat. And I think that's how we went into that series. Even though we're traveling to South Carolina, we're going to number 1 again in the nation, and we got to go win. But we had Bulldogs. I mean, that's what we expected. And it sounds egotistical, whatever it is, but you better have an ego when you go to play number 1 at somebody else's place, and then you leave there dancing on their field to say, hey, we're going to our first ever. And
I think Brendan said that too when we talked to you about A&M series a couple years ago when we made that regional, because as fans, we look at it from a different perspective where we're like, oh man, this is a big deal. But for you guys, you're thinking this day in, day out, one game at a time, one pitch at a time, one moment at a time. And that stuck with me. You told me, Brendan, when you're in those situations, like you don't care the name on the shirt and you don't care what the fans are yelling at you. You're just focused on the next play and the next pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look too far ahead, and Danny kind of alluded to it, maybe they celebrated a little prematurely, whatever. If you start looking ahead, then you don't see what's right in front of your face, and you can't be reactive and in the moment to where you are. And sometimes as an athlete, that is not a good mindset to have. You're only as good as the next pitch, as the next play, as the next at bat. And if you're not focused up, giving your 100%, trying to beat that pitcher on the mound or trying to get that hitter in the box, then that's not the right mindset to have.
Do y'all think that it is going to benefit us playing in Mississippi State Stadium tonight, where left field is 330, right field is 305? Do you think that benefits us, or because Cincinnati is such a hot hitting team, that's going to benefit them, Brendan?
It's hard to say. I mean, yeah, they've got some thump in their lineup, and yeah, you're going to have to, as a pitcher and as the pitching staff as a whole, I mean, you're going to have to be a little more careful and not leave stuff, middle over the, belt high, and you're not going to be able to make and get away with mistakes that you would normally get away with against some other teams. But again, it goes back down to executing one pitch on the pitching staff. If Coach Sandy calls fastball inside, I'm just doing everything that I can as a pitcher to make sure that I get it, all the way across, on the inside where he's not able to get extended on it. If I execute my pitches, then, more times than not, I'm going to have a favorable outcome. So I don't think it's good or bad. I think stats show up on paper, but you never really know how the game's going to go until the game starts going, right? Like on paper, Coastal was better than us. Southern Miss was better than us, 9 times out of 10. But, we got the better of both of those guys, in both of the series that we played against them. And as the game got going, one team, grabs a hold of Big Mo and they hold on to it for most of the game. And we ended up winning 2 out of 3. So in Coastal's case, 4 out of 5, it doesn't matter until that first pitch is thrown, until the rhythm of the game is established, and guys just get down and throw down. You never know.
All right, Danny, let's have some fun now. We talked enough about the game. I'm nervous. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Nothing we can do. They just got to go out and play it. Let's talk about your time as a Cajun, man. We had some ups and downs. One of my favorite up and down moments was really Justin Gabriel, how he had redemption from his incident. And dude, let me tell you, I was sitting in Coach Robe's office working with him when he had the conversation with Justin, and it didn't feel good. But that kid came back the next year and just kicked absolute ass, and he's kicking ass at life these days. I think he's coaching out in Washington. Guys like him, I think Logan Cuellar had a situation and he ended up going somewhere else. Just talk about, your time at Louisiana. I guess at the time we were USL, then UL, then all that stuff. But just, favorite memories, and it doesn't even have to do with baseball, just being involved with the program. Talk to us a little bit about that. Go down memory lane a little bit.
Well, memory lane with UL or Louisiana, USL when I got there, and then it changed over, was the fanfare. Like just being in a college town playing, I'm from Houston, Texas. Everybody thinks the Astros, the Texans, the Rockets. Not sure too many people go watch the Houston Cougars like they come out for the Cajuns.
Yeah, trust me, we outnumbered them midweek this year.
Correct. And we do the same thing at Rice. So when I went to UL, I remember my dad telling me, if you ever do an interview, be humble, whatever, but always thank the fans, because there's 2,000 people plus out here every day. And, are you excited to go out there and play every day? I was like, yes, I play in summer leagues with 42 people there. Like, I'm excited to get on this field. So I think the fans were some of the, signing autographs on a Sunday, signing autographs anytime, doing an interview after every game or whatever it was just eye-opening, and just if you felt the love. And then Robe really, brings it to you. Just, a class person. But you had the good guy, bad guy. You had the assistant coaches. I had all my teammates, just successful people on and off the field now. And I realize how, these guys battled back and really took in how baseball is. You're not given anything. You got to earn it. You play 60 games in a season. It's going to be long. Life is long. It's hard. But just, the opportunity to play in junior college, it was hit or miss. I played a little bit, didn't play a little bit. I was at San Jack, played behind really good players. Ryan Jorgensen, who ended up going to LSU, I had to sit behind him. And then going to UL and just going, hey, you're the dude. You're the guy. Go out there and do your thing and be yourself. And that's what I was able to do on the field. Off the field, it was just easy. It was an experience that I haven't. I think I've even said, even in pro ball, I loved college more than, than I had. I didn't get to the big leagues, and I know the big leagues would have been way, a little different.
Oh, I think that'd been I think that would have stuck out a little bit more.
Yeah. So, you go to big league camp, you do that. So you get the taste and you're like, I got to get there. But you know what? College was everything I wanted. It's taught me about life. It's taught me about work, what I do now, being a custom home builder. It's all translated. And I love Lafayette. When I quit ball, I thought Lafayette could be a landing spot, Houston could be a landing spot. Where where's my next point going to go? So, and we still go back. I wasn't able to make it back to this alumni weekend to see LaCroix and all that. And congratulations to him, but we had some other things going on. So,
Brendan, is he a better golfer than you? I want Danny.
Probably, whoever it is.
Okay, I was just wondering because you mentioned you'll play golf or you saw him at a golf tournament, so I was just wondering who had the best swing.
Oh, I'm going to give it to Danny, even if it's not.
Okay, well, let's go play and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
The Ragin Review Golf Tournament. Let's make it happen, boys.
We'll do a home and home in Lafayette and Houston. We'll do a home and home.
Or we meet in Lake Charles, right?
Oh, that wouldn't be too bad. Yeah,
we'll be at the Nugget and we'll play 2 rounds and throw down a little gambling.
I was thinking about all the characters we had back then, man. Because you had Poe Pimp. I'm sure you remember him.
Yeah.
You had Big Lynn, who he was a character in himself. All your per diem was going to him if you dared to play cards with him in the back of the bus, man. There was no hope, dude.
Well, yeah. The other part of it is, you just had good guys. We had about 7 or 8 Texas boys that mixed in with Lafayette boys, and just some swamp people, some Poche.
I was gonna say just Poche if you talk about swamp people.
Like just when Daddy talks, it's like, man, did I understand that? All right, okay. And then just seeing a different part, the food, because I wasn't used to Louisiana. I'm a Hispanic, Houston boy that went over there, and I'm like, what is this? Drink and eat good, and everybody's nice to each other. This is great. And then, the team-wise, our trainers were good. We had a good culture. We had a good strength coach. Everything was, everybody got along on and off the field.
David and David, the 2 trainers. That was the funniest thing for me. David and David. And then you had little Thomas Semino. Now he's coaching for the freaking Party Animals with the Savannah Bananas. That kid was like a menace. He's probably still a menace, but that kid was a menace growing up, bro.
Yeah. And then Semino being your assistant coach, I mean, this guy would put eye black on, put some wristbands on just to keep it loose,
Oh, yeah. He tell me, hey, I'm going to take a nick and wipe my domang. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, he taught me so many insults growing up. It was awesome.
Yeah. No. So we had good times. You had good, I mean, that's the good part about having a good team. It's everybody's cool with everybody, and you know when to go out with each other, hang out. You know how to separate your time, and then, road trips were the best to, be out with these guys. So
when Rogue came out with his bleached blonde hair, that was one of the best moments ever. Talking about road trips, that was something.
No,
Terry. Is it Terry Robideau?
Terry Robideau.
Was that the Terry year?
Well, it was. You remember Jarvis did it too in the bathroom. I think Jarvis Larry had bleached his in the bathroom in the hotel.
Oh, well, I think we all did it in the hotel there, and then some came out.
Some started early.
And,
yeah.
Yeah,
Robes was more orange, bro.
Yeah,
Terry
and then
Robideau.
him and Gill. I saw Ryan Gill the other day. I was in Baton Rouge, and I called this boy up, and he answered like it was nothing. Like, all right, let's go. And just easy to call people up. Justin Gabriel, he'll stay in contact every once in a while. I'll see Tommy Clark. I played golf with him last year.
Oh, Tommy Clark's awesome. Yeah. He shows up at the games quite a bit.
Yep. Hey, and if we win, people are going to come out. And I know we didn't win at the beginning. I know, it was a little down, but now the run that we're on, I mean, shoot, mess around and win and see where it goes. And I know they got to be just locked in, and they're not seeing. They got blinders on.
Well, hey, my brother's there. Coach Doe's there, Brennan. I mean, it's all handled. If Coach Doe showed Big Game Domang, if he shows up, we're all good, baby.
How old is on lockdown this weekend?
How old were you when we went? I mean, were you even born? I don't know how old you are now, but when we went to the College World Series,
I was 3.
Good Lord, man. I'm getting old, bro.
I was 3.
You make me feel old, bro.
I know. Isn't that terrible? I mean, it feels like like you saw that memory that just popped in my head. I mean, Tyler Teasling, I think his name was, he popped in my head as we're talking, like all these players and situations as we talk about stuff. My mind just works that way. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but I guess it has been. I guess it means it's time for us to go back to Omaha, right? I think that's what it is.
That would be good. That's when
Amen.
I'm ready to go back.
All right, boys. Well, it's
For
been good
sure,
talking.
without a
I will
doubt.
hop off of here to let you guys get ready to watch the game. Let our viewers get ready to watch the game. But I appreciate everything, guys. We're going to go on 20 minutes after this game tonight, and we start taking calls, and then we start drinking, and then it gets crazy. So feel free to join us after. If not, no big deal, but appreciate you guys coming on. And yeah, look forward to a fun game. Look forward to a big win. And Danny, just in case you're not able to make it, one last thought. What do you want to say to Cajun Nation today?
Hey, let's win, baby. And we love our fans. We love this team, and let's see what happens tonight, baby.
All right, boys. Well, again, thank y'all so much.
Brandon,
I have to pull up
man.
this.
Good seeing you.
I have to pull up the song before we go. Hold on, because there we go. This is a good luck song. The team likes this song. We're gonna play this. It's not like Bling Bling from back in the day, but we'll play this anyway. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you, boys, again. And until next time, good luck tonight. Let's get a win. And as always, go Cajuns.
All right, Nick. We'll see you. All right, boys.